Hey, everybody, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show on Locked On Sports Minnesota. It's a snowy, cold Tuesday, but we're here to keep you warm with some hot takes. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Max Brosmer, J.J. McCarthy. What's next for the Minnesota Vikings? We'll talk about all that and much more coming up next on the Ron Johnson Show.
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcasts. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. Now the Ron Johnson Show. On the field, in the broadcast booth, Ron Johnson is Minnesota sports. He's played with them, hung out with them, and grown up with all the big names in Minnesota sports. They're hanging out with Ron Johnson. It's the Ron Johnson Show on the Locked On Sports Minnesota podcast. And it starts now.
Hey, everybody, it's Ron Johnson, and this is the Ron Johnson Show. I want to thank you guys for joining me. For those watching on YouTube, we thank you. For those listening wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, thank you for joining us today on the Ron Johnson Show. I'm going to be bringing my co-host Sam Ekstrom into the show in just a little bit, but I want everybody to know today we're gonna really hit on this Minnesota Vikings team. Everybody's wondering what's going on with the Minnesota Vikings. Is it all over? Is the season over? Is the team going to break apart and do a rebuild, and then we got to go through the next couple of years trying to figure out their identity? Maybe, but there is a silver lining in early young quarterbacks, and there's one thing people are forgetting. We'll talk about that and much more. All right, everybody know today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. And I just want everybody to know, right? I did it this weekend. I was in Iowa, so I was able to parlay and do some things alongside the games. It makes the game so much more fun, so much more anxiety, though, and so frustrating when it doesn't work, but it's so great when it does, when you see your player hit that 250-yard mark or that 150-yard mark. And as I bring my producer to the show, Sam Ekstrom, here's where I'm going to start with that, Sam. So I was able to be on FanDuel. I was in Iowa for the holiday. So I was able to be on FanDuel for the entire for the entire week until leading up until Saturday, Sunday, Gophers. I was at the Gopher game Saturday, and then Sunday, Vikings. But Sam, one of the ones, my parlays, I was like, there's no way this doesn't hit. 250 yards for Sam Darnold, 250 yards for Max Brosmer. That was my bet, Sam. And you would guess that'd be pretty simple with these teams, right? These passing offenses, this level of coaching. What I didn't account for, Sam, I did not account for this. Sam Darnold being absolutely stymied by Brian Flores. 14 for 26, 128 yards. He couldn't even get to 250. Sacked 4 times. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4. Dallas Turner strip sacks aplenty. I mean, he had himself an absolute day. And then when you look at Max Brosmer, that number 4 rings true for both quarterbacks, right? 4 sacks for Max. 4 sacks for Max. 4 sacks for Max.
On the 4th day of Christmas.
Oh,
Sounds
man.
like you're doing one of those.
4 sacks for Max. But also, Sam, just like those infomercials, right? But wait, there's more. 4 interceptions, Sam. 4 interceptions. So 4 interceptions, 4 sacks for Max, 4 sacks for Sam, 126 yards for Max, 128 for, I mean, it pretty much was so the fact that I thought they would both go for 250, I was right. It was 250 combined. That's where I made the mistake. I should have gone 250 combined, because I guarantee that probably would have been plus 10,000 that these quarterbacks would go for plus 250, or sorry, plus 300 or less, or minus 300, whatever. I don't even know if they have that. 300 or less yards, over under combined passing yards. That's, I don't know what sicko would have that parlay, but that would have hit. 19 for 30 for Max. And when you look at that 19 for 30, Sam, so I want to find some silver linings, right? Like, I'm always down for a good silver lining. All right. 63% 63% completions, almost 64% completions against that defense. Not bad for his first show out. One, that's better than McCarthy's been. McCarthy's been in the 50s. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, 14 for 26, right? A little bit more modest, 67 passer rating. But the one thing Sam Darnold had that we did not was a pretty consistent run game, but he did not throw the ball to the other team. They were able to punt the ball away. And just force the Vikings to figure it out. Like, honestly, if I was a Seahawks at some points when I knew they were going to blitz me, I'm going to just punt on first down. Like, they should have just shocked the world, punted on first down, and said, let my defense go get me another pick six from Max. Like, that could have been a solution to the Seahawks and probably had a better passer rating if they had went that route. Let's just punt it down to them. Let Max – let's see what Max can do. And then let's give ourselves an even shorter field. But Sam, when you look at this game, is there anything in your mind that says Max Brosmer should be over J.J. McCarthy right now?
Unfortunately not. And it wasn't a very high bar to clear. But with McCarthy, there have been flashes of big-time throws.
Yeah.
Flashes where he uses the mobility to his advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure we got flashes even. There were a couple throws downfield that could have been hauled in. There was a one early to Jordan Addison that could have gone a long ways that got dropped. Couple that were behind Justin Jefferson that, he gets his hands on, doesn't reel in. So any chance for Brosmer to make a splash throw didn't come to fruition. Of those 19 throws, Ron, I'm trying to recall too many that were explosive in nature, were tight windows. It felt like a lot of his throws, especially as the game got away from the Vikings, he was forcing throws into traffic.
Yeah.
And that's when the interceptions happened. I didn't see a lot of mobility either. Like I didn't see a lot
that
of
was
flashes.
Never his game though. That was never he was never a mobile. Like that was not on the cue card, mobility for Max Brosmer. And I think that's the key though. Like they knew that. He's not a mobile quarterback. So as a defensive coordinator, you can kind of, keep him in the pocket and then just play covers behind it. He's not, you don't have to spy him. Like, when you're playing like Marcus Mariota, Jaden Daniels, who the Vikings have coming up this week against the Commanders. I can't wait to jump into that film today. I'm probably going to go Commanders defense though, because they are bad. And so I think my take this week is, how can J.J. McCarthy actually go out here and beat the Commanders? The Commanders have given up 388 yards in offense this season per game. That's 31st in the NFL, Sam. They've given up 254 pass yards. So I kind of want to drive back to the Iowa border to bet J.J. McCarthy throws for 250 plus, because I think this is it. Like last time I had that, he threw for 248. I think this is the week, Sam, that he throws for 300 yards. Like, I know we're going to have some bold predictions tomorrow. That's my prediction. J.J. McCarthy's throwing for 300 tomorrow, or 290. Give me 275. 275 is not a lot to ask against this defense. They've given up 254, but they've also given up 133 yards on the ground, which means we know Aaron Jones is banged up still, but maybe this is going to be a Xavier Scott, Jordan Mason. Like, where did this guy come from type of game with Xavier Scott? The Vikings always have that running back where that one guy back up to the backup comes in and you're like, whoa, who is this guy? Where has he been all season? But maybe this is the Jordan Mason game that we haven't seen yet, like when he was with the 49ers. 100-plus yards because this run defense is bad, which opens up the play action. They've given up 26 points a game. So is this a game the Vikings can finally get over that 27-point hunt? Like, is this going to be a 30-pointer for J.J. McCarthy in his return? The season's almost over. Less than 1% chance to make the playoffs. And then J.J. McCarthy walks through the tunnel. You like that? Do you like that? Like, that's what I'm hoping for. Are you not entertained?
Nine's going to show up.
Please don't. Don't say 9.
Never say it again.
Don't say that again. Ever since he said that, it hasn't gone good. It's been pretty bad. And that the face he made, like, I get it being the game's over. But he's like, and Kevin O'Connell is just going through like praise. He's praising you, and you're looking like a wolf.
A dog
transitioning.
In the street. A dog in the street, I think.
We know the dog in the street.
Official phrase is.
But he looks like a wolf about to turn into a werewolf or something in like the Twilight series for all the millennials out there. Like it just made no sense. Like at that point, there's no need to be like, yeah, tell me I'm good. Tell me how good I am. Like what? What are you doing? Like what are you doing? It's so cringy. Like that's that. Oh man, it's just one of those things where I almost feel like he needs swag class. Like he needs a class in swag because he can play football. We know that. But he needs a swag class. And I saw a post, I think it was on Facebook. I know people don't spend a lot of time on Facebook anymore. Or as my aunt said one time, the book face.
As Bill Belichick says, snap face.
I was about to say, I know he said something stupid too. But there was a guy that posted like all these quarterbacks in their first year. And it talked about how patient the Packers have been. Like they took their time with Brett Favre. They took their time with Aaron Rodgers. They took their time with Jordan Love. And that's why they're successful. It talked about Peyton Manning. And I've talked about that season because I was coaching. Not that season, but I was coaching for the Colts. And they actually bought that up because Peyton, I remember one day we were in practice with Clyde Christensen and Tom Moore. And Peyton's trying to tell us he's something he wants to run. And it's like an offensive play. And he's like, yeah, man, we should run. I think they called it like Miami or something. He's like, we should run that because this is this, but this is what we got to do. And then like Dallas Clark comes over and he's talking about it. He's like, yeah, remember we did this against Jacksonville? And then one of the coaches looks, he's like, remember what happened against Jacksonville? And I was new. So I'm like, I have no idea what y'all are talking about. So I'm just, I'm doing the fake laugh. Like what happened to Jacksonville? Well, Peyton threw an interception on that play and Peyton never forgets that. So one, he said, no, we're not running that play. Here's what I want to do with it, though. And then when he explained what he wanted to do with it, Tom Moore said, did you do that year? And blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah. He said, you went 3-13. He's like, we're not doing that. So you got to love Tom Moore. Tom Moore at that time had to be 60, I think something, maybe 70. No, he's probably 60-something because he's almost like 80 now, 80 in his 80s. But Tom Moore coached my dad with the Steelers, so I love like and he was at, Eastern Michigan and some other places where my dad's been. But I love Tom Moore. Because he told the story when he was at the hospital. So after my dad had me, everybody could not believe I was almost basically 11 pounds. I was 11-pound baby. And
wow,
people couldn't believe it. So all my dad's teammates like came to the hospital at some point, or a lot of them did. Like I know there's actually a picture of me and Mel Blount, Franco Harris. And I don't know what day this was, but it was pretty early. I was able to hold my head up. That's how strong I was at 11 pounds. I was able to hold, and I was not late. People are like, were you born late? No, I was actually early. I was supposed to be born like later in May, June-ish. But no, I was able to hold my head up. I was able to they said I was able to push up a little bit early on, like early days. I was already pushing up, but I was 11 pounds. So I was a big kid. Like I was born a 1-year-old pretty much. So when you, or 6-month-old at least, but when you look at, that, right, guys wanting to do these plays, early success versus late success. These, like, we have to realize J.J. McCarthy, even though it feels like he's been here forever, he's a rookie. 6 games in. He didn't even get a full season this year. 6 games. He's a rookie. So there are going to be growing pains with a rookie. You put him behind an offensive line that's hurt pretty much and all old and just ailing. Going the veteran route didn't work. Like these guys are all like hitting the dirt, and mainly Kelly, that Fries got hurt. Darisaul's been hurt. Donovan Jackson was the young blood that we wanted. He's been hurt. Brian O'Neill got hurt. Like there hasn't been one healthy O-lineman on that team, like on that starting 5. Not one has been healthy. So I say that to say this, Sam. Mm-hmm. Looking at this game, right? Not to say scratch Max Brosmer, because, again, that was Max Brosmer's first game. We have to be a little bit like, hey, man, it's his first game. All 4 interceptions are not his fault, and I can't wait to look into the film today. Like, that's what I'm going to do today because Gopher football season's over until the bowl game. So that means no PJ Flex show today for me. So that means I get 2.5 hours back of my day because I don't have to drive to campus and park and then get over to shoot the show for an hour and then drive back home. So I get about 2.5 hours. That gives me an additional 2.5 hours, Sam, to watch film. You know what I'm watching, Sam? I'm a masochist because I want to be able to talk about this tomorrow on the show too. And I'm going to tweet it out, Ron's review. I can't wait to look at all 4 interceptions. Because one, Sam, when I post it and say this is not Max's fault, I'm going to get killed. Right? I love that. people are going to kill me. They're going to, what are you talking about? That is his fault. I think one, maybe. But the Jalen Naylor, right? It's high, but from my angle, it looked like it went through his hands. It looked like if he closed his hands, he stops the ball or at least knocks it down, right? Hands were still wide. Timing on it. Maybe Max was a little early because he brought that up. He was throwing the ball early. And again, to that point, people, I'm not supporting Max being early. That is still wrong. Like, oh, he processes so fast, he's early. No, that's wrong. You can't be early. Like, if I have a 3-step out route and you throw it before I even get to my second step, you're wrong. So, like, we can't praise somebody being too smart. That's almost like somebody is a little too scared. I'm not saying he is. I'm saying they could come off that way. Oh, I'm about to get hit. Let me get rid of the ball. Right? Like,
yeah.
We have to, like, we can't always praise everything. Like, we're always trying to praise something. We can't praise that. Being early is wrong. Being late is wrong. That's why a quarterback has to be on time. That is why you get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. Be on time. Throw the ball on time. You can't be early. You can't be late. If you throw a fade route, right? I know he has a fade. I know they're in cover one. I know there's no high safety. And you throw it on the one step. And it's a 3-step fade. But I'm just so early because I know it's there. I'm throwing it. You're wrong. Like, great. Yeah, you processed it. You knew the coverage. You knew where you're supposed to go with the ball, but you went early. You're wrong. There was no pressure. Why are you going early? So I say that to say, like, yeah, I get it. Processing fast, great. It's not processing fast, though. Like, here's the thing I always talk about with quarterbacks, and I love this analogy, this visualization for people, right? Imagine you're Keanu Reeves in the movie The Matrix. Sam, I hope you've seen The Matrix, right? Because we joke on this show a lot because Sam doesn't see a lot of movies, especially older movies.
I have seen The Matrix.
Okay, so now I can go with you on this. So now you understand this. So visualize, right? Mm-hmm. Being lost out. Lost out there in the world. You don't know what's going on. Everything is just moving fast. Cars are going by you. People are going by you. And then there's that scene, right, where Neo sees the zeros and the ones, right? He's in the Matrix now. He kind of figured it out and everything. And then when he looks, because he knows, okay, this 0, 1, 0, 1. So he knows the program. He knows what's about to happen next. He knows he can see it before it comes. Everything slows down, right? The guy fighting him look like he's punching in slow motion because he's just like, whew, whew. Then the bullets come. He's able to do the back bend thing because he knows the bullets are coming. And then at one point, he just owns the Matrix and he stops the bullets because he's like, look, I know what's keeping these things in the air. Stop. And then the bullets all fall. But, like, he sees it before it comes. Like, he knows the guy behind him about the punch. And that's where a quarterback needs to sit, in the Matrix, where it's just moving so slow that you're moving slow with it. You're just like, boom, yep, oh, yep, cover one, that safety's high. Oh, yep, he's over here. I'm going to look him off, and I know I'm coming back to this fade. I'm going to look you off, boom, throw the fade route. On time, in the bucket, touchdown, or big play, right? Going fast is actually a problem just like going slow, right? Like, that's the only thing I see. And again, this is his first game. So we have to be patient with that, though, too. Unfortunately, J.J. McCarthy was the first-round pick. So Max may never get another chance unless J.J. comes up with another injury.
Right.
And that's what's going to suck for Max Brosmer is like this 0 touchdown, 4 interception, 4 sack, 32 passer rating game is what people are going to remember your NFL kind of season on. If not, this is it for you. Like tomorrow's not promised. Being a backup next year is not promised. This is what they're looking at. There was because everybody's like, we need a spark. This offense needs a spark. Max is playing. We're going to get a spark. Spark didn't happen. Spark happened for the Seahawks defense. They're like, man, we're sparked up. We're good. We feel good. We look good. Wait, we only got to score 1 touchdown and our defense can get us this? We get 26 points and we didn't do anything on offense? Whew. Is this the Legion of Boom? Did Richard Sherman get dressed again? Like, is that Cam Chancellor? Right. Like, they're out there intercepting and laying the boom. And the sacks, they were just getting after him too. But here's where I go in the interceptions just really quick. The one I really want to look at is the vertical, right? The one he throws it inside and the outside corner takes it. cover 4, you can't make that throw because there's nothing holding him because his job is to cover the quarter, not the man. Quarter of the field is his, so he's covering 1 at his back, looking the 2 inside. His eyes are inside, so he's looking right at Max. He's looking right at the receiver. That route should have been maybe a bender away from him if you know the other high guy is somewhere or something holds one of the quarters guys and the other quarters guy sneaks behind him. Like, that's not a quarters beater play if it was 4 vertical. And that's why I want to see the whole all 22 because I want to see what the backside was doing. Because if everybody went down, like 2 guys down the seam, 2 guys on the outside, it's 4 vertical. The outside guy, my guess, if he didn't keep running and he hooks up, that's the throw. It's the outside hook throw. And again, and that's just a bad read, and then that's on Max. If all are running vertical, I can't put that on Max. That's what I want to see. Like, did the receiver supposed to hook up, but he kept running because he saw the ball in the air? Because that's going to come up too. Like, why is he not all the way down the field? All this other stuff, right? No, there's nothing holding the corner to stay there. Tip off Justin Jefferson's body. Interception. That's not Max's fault. What was the other one? Did he throw one high? Was that the Naylor one?
See, I'm trying to remember them all. So there's obviously the underhand flip.
The underhand flip. Yep, that's definitely his fault. KOC blamed the play call. I'm drawing a blank on the third one.
Well, the one caromed off of Justin Jefferson. Like,
I got that one. That was a tip off his chest.
Okay, and then there were 2 overthrows.
Oh, the high throw. Yeah, it was. It was going the other way. It wasn't Naylor's. It was going the other way. Naylor, I think, was the intended receiver, but it was going the other way. There's so many overthrows because the Packers was an overthrow from JJ, wasn't it, to Jalen Naylor, and there was an interception. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, how many?
I thought it was down the middle.
How many did JJ throw in that game? 2, 3. I can't remember it.
I can't remember either.
Seems like forever ago.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot because when you think about that, like I'm envisioning a high throw, but I think it was because it was a 23-6 game. Let's see, player stats.
He threw 2. It says
he threw
2 interceptions,
and that was he threw the high one in the middle of the field. So his was high too, but Max had a similar one, which maybe your quarterbacks can't make that throw right now. Get rid of that play. Like, get rid of it. It's been nothing but high throws across the middle because they're dropping the linebacker. So you can't make that throw over the top. Like, you're not going to get there. Oh, yeah. That was McCarthy's other one, too. Remember, it was the linebacker was in front of the guy, and he's trying to layer the throw in because Greg Olsen made that comment that you're not going to get that throw in because there's not enough space, and it goes high. So, we're not running. Like, the plays are too long developing, in my opinion. Like, they are. Like, they're just too long developing. And at this point, why not just simplify the offense? Like, I get it. It's a tuck your tail between your legs mentality. My offense didn't work. These guys aren't running it the way I needed to be run. Because he keeps saying that. We're not executing. We're not like, well, then stop doing it. Like, stop. That's like sending a non-fighter in to fight Mike Tyson. You're not going to win, right? So maybe change the game plan. Run around. Do something Mike Tyson can't do. Make him tired. Just run around. Like, don't let him get a hit on you, right? If you're fighting Floyd Mayweather and he's smaller than you, you're not going to beat him because he's too technical. Hug him. Hug him until the whistle blows, until the time runs out. Just keep tying him up. Just keep tying him up. Like, you got to do the simple stuff, right? Don't get knocked out. Don't try to go for the knockout and then you get knocked out. And that's what's happening. It feels like they're going for the knockout blow and they're getting knocked out because they don't have that in their repertoire right now with the quarterbacks. They're not able to make those layered throws. Because honestly, Carson Wentz was making them. I don't remember Carson Wentz having a game where we're like, oh, that was horrible. Like, he was making some of those throws. But he also is what, 10 years in? Like,
yeah. If you take out the Chargers game when he was, in like disabled, he wasn't able to move around. He had the bad shoulder. It was a fine backup performance by Wentz. Like, he went 2-2 in his first 4 games. We can live with that.
Right. And that's where you have to understand who you have in your locker room. And that's what concerns me is, like, has Kevin O'Connell figured that out? Does he know what he has in his locker room? Does he know what he's going to do with these guys? And so, to put a bow on the whole Seahawks game, right? Bad. Just bad. Time to move on. Maybe not Max Roach. Let's move on to J.J. McCarthy now. What do they do with J.J. McCarthy? What does that look like? What does the weapons look like? Because you got J.J. McCarthy, you got Adam Thielen gone now, you got Justin Jefferson frustrated. We'll talk about all that and much more coming up next on the Ron Johnson Show.
NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. You can anticipate the comeback when it's about to begin. You can anticipate when that big interception is coming. There's lots of good payouts as well when you live bet. Sometimes you can capture like a plus 300, plus 400 on the drive result. You can cash in fast. Player props available live as well as a player's heating up, or maybe somebody's had a slow first half. You're going to bet them to explode in the second half. Next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, plenty more. Live wagering at FanDuel. Get in the middle of the action this season. FanDuel.com. Place your live NFL bets. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you.
Well, Sam, and this is super random, right? But during the commercial break, I was looking at a video of Ed Ingram, old Ed Ingram, making a combo block. I don't know if you've seen this video against the Colts. He's making a combo block. He secures the edge to help out his center, hold his guy, and then he gets to the second level and absolutely knocks out the linebacker trying to scrape. The running back cuts it back, and he's off to the races. Honestly, how do you look at Ed Ingram? And again, we had Randall McDaniel on, right? And he talked about offensive guard being one of the toughest positions to kind of learn early, right? Donovan Jackson, for the most part, has learned it early. He also went to Ohio State. He also played center and tackle and guard, right? He did it all. Guard and tackle. He did it all. He maybe just be a little bit more savvy because he plays so many positions and he's gotten it done. But when you look at offensive line play like that, right, instead of bringing in Fries, you could have had Ed Ingram alongside your first-round draft pick, Donovan Jackson. Young guards, but good, right? Healthy. No issues. You look at center, right? You look at the options they could have had out there. We knew what Kelly was about. Was it worth it? I mean, you and I talked about this. When I talked to one of the coaches, I remember I asked him, I said, what do you think about Kelly? And remember he said, Fries is a dog. So Fries right now is his injuries. But he said, Kelly, he said, just watch out. When games don't matter and health is a question mark, it's always going to go on the side of I'm not playing today. Remember? We had this conversation. I brought this up when we first signed him. You guys can go back. I got receipts. I literally said, this is not from me because I don't know Kelly. I just wanted to know, what do you think about him? He said, just watch. He said, whenever you have to play a tough defense and there's potential injury already looming, playing through injury is not his thing. He's going to err on the side of, I'm just going to sit this one out. I'm not saying that's what he's doing because it's been concussion-related stuff, and that's more of the trainers releasing him and clearing protocol. But we kind of the writing was on the wall, right? Was there nobody else out there? Was there? I mean, because I think the way they loaded up, right? We said this. It was buy low, sell high. You get a lot of injured guys. If they pan out, your stock rises. You make a ton of money on them because you're not spending a lot of money, but you can make a lot of money. I don't know if they could have got John Michael Schmidt from the Gophers. I know the Giants drafted him. We'd have to go back and look at that draft. But he's been playing every game for the Giants. He's a Gopher. He's good. He's old because he was one of those guys who stuck around for a while. Had an injury here and there. But he's been playing for the Giants. He actually got into it with the defensive lineman. I don't know if you saw. He was the guy that grabbed the defensive lineman that absolutely decapitated Jackson Dart on the sideline, the linebacker.
Really?
Like the first guy got hit him was, I think, the tight end, and the next guy that's like walking him through the sideline was John Michael Schmidt, 61. Go Gophers, row the boat, Sky Umah. But yeah. So offensive line play, Sam. So we moved on, and we're talking J.J. McCarthy now, right? We're talking this team, what's next, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. But let's go offensive line, right? We kind of talked about Justin Jefferson. We talked about J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer. Offensive line. Like, where do we go with that? Like, how do you trot JJ McCarthy out there where potentially your entire offensive line might be, because Christian Darrisaw clearly is on like a pitch count, and if he feels any type of twinge, he's going to take himself out, especially if the game's out of hand. Like, we're not going to win this game. I'm not hurting myself for y'all. Like, what are you doing by sending JJ McCarthy out there behind 5 offensive linemen that aren't your starters?
Right. And you really don't have a choice because you've got Brosmer and you've got McCarthy. I mean, putting John Wolford out there isn't really productive for anybody. So you're going to be putting out basically a rookie behind a patchwork offensive line. That is one of the biggest factors in this offensive downfall, is that not only are your quarterbacks ill-equipped to make these fast decisions in the pocket, but they're getting rushed even more because of this offensive line, and they know that. They know that the line in front of them is porous, that they're probably going to be pressured more. There's going to be more unexpected pressure in their face. Justin School has not been a reliable backup, so their blind side is vulnerable, Ron. Like that's got to be in your head if you're a young passer. It's affected their ability to run the ball, affected their ability to pass protect, and just execute the offense the way they want to. And I'm looking long-term. You've got Brian O'Neill expiring contract after next year, Ryan Kelly expiring after next year. Once again, in the draft, I think you're looking at more pieces. You're trying to get young talent in that room because you're not going to have, like, I think Darrisaw is a piece for a long time. I think Jackson is for a long time, and hopefully Fries. But you're still going to need some help there. And Kelly's injury history, O'Neill's knees right now, the health of that offensive line, worlds different from last year when you had Bradbury, like even Bradbury last year. That would probably be a better option than what we've had this year because he played, right? When you have, even if someone is a little bit unreliable at times, when they're in there every single game, you know what you're going to get.
And the thing is, too, this week you got Dorrance Armstrong, Von Miller, Jacob Martin, Frankie Louvu. Love that name, by the way. Bobby Wagner, right? 26 sacks. So as bad as the Commanders have been playing, they still have guys that can get after the quarterback. And that's where kind of like when you look at the sacks, you're like, oh, man. Like you still have guys that can get after it. Like tackles for a loss, 51, 26 sacks. Like they still get after it. Von Miller still has a little bit left in the tank. And so you're telling me Justin School is supposed to block Von Miller? Like that's what we're going to go with for this game. And that's the question mark, is like when this injury report comes out tomorrow, like I said, less than a 1% chance to make the playoffs. So like you can't, if you still have a 1% chance, like people always say like, oh, the season's over, give it up. Let's tank for a higher draft pick, right? You can't say that this week, though, because you're playing a terrible team. Like, you're playing a terrible team. With a quarterback, Jaden Daniels might not. Again, there's no reason for Jaden Daniels to come back sooner than he needs to when you're out of the playoffs. Like, there makes no sense to rush back. Like, you're young, you're the franchise. There's no reason. And that's why I wonder with J.J. McCarthy, like, there's no reason to trot him out there other than you need to know if he's good or not. That's the only reason. Like, if he was having a dynamite season in 6 games, throwing for 300 yards a game, and then he gets hurt, I think they'd be okay sitting him and letting him get healthy until the offensive line is healthy. But here's the problem with that, though, right? You can't do that with Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkins and Jordan Addison, because, like, then do you sit Justin Jefferson and say, hey, man, like we're not really going after it right now. You can't do that because Justin Jefferson's gonna be pissed off. And so this is just a conundrum. And so to add to it, Adam Thielen last week, his representation, goes to the Vikings and says, can you trade our guy? Or can you waive our guy? We want to go to a team that, Adam can actually play. My guess is, because it didn't say, so here's the thing. People keep saying he wants to go to a team to make a playoff run. It did not say that. He didn't say playoff run, unless I'm read it wrong. He never said playoff run. He said he wants to go to a team where he can finish out his season and be impactful. I don't think he meant the team's impact on the league. I think he meant his impact with the team. And it'll be interesting to see who, because if he clears waivers, now he gets to pick where he wants to go. But that's
back to Carolina.
Maybe.
They're a contender.
like when you think about this whole, like the way it looks, right? And so I'm just saying, like a lot of people keep saying playoff run, right? He never said playoffs. He just said impact, right? He's not having an impact. He's not even playing. Like he's not getting in. He's like what, 3-4 plays a game, one pass, 2 passes a game. And when you think about, the opportunity, right? The Panthers are 7-6, second in the NFC South. When you look at the NFC South, the Bucs are 7-5, right? So they're right there. You got the Bears. I can't believe it. The Bears are number 1. Rams. By the way, we got Diana Rossini coming Christmas, so I'm going to try to catch up with her and get her on the sideline of that game Sunday to air it on that Tuesday, New Year's, after the New Year, whatever. I think, did she say, like, I have to go back and listen to her interview now. Did she say the Bears? Because I remember we asked her who was going to win the division. Did she say Bears? Or did she say Packers? I can't remember. I know she said Lions. She didn't think Lions would. Remember that? And that was the one where she said, I'm going to piss off a lot of Detroit fans. And she said the Lions wouldn't. I thought she said Packers. I don't think she said Bears. I think she said the Bears and the Vikings would be at the bottom. But I have to go back and watch and see, because we might need to put that video out there, Sam, on Twitter, because she did kind of call it to say the Lions were going to have struggles. And she said Detroit fans aren't going to be happy with this. And I was like, whoa. I was like, it's still Dan Campbell, though. You still got all this. They're 7-5, Sam. They're 3rd in the NFC North. I mean, honestly, if the Vikings could just block people, the Vikings would have 7 wins. Like, because they had some games that were winnable. They just couldn't do it. Like, they had some definitely winnable games. They just can't stop turning the ball over.
Eagles, Ravens, Falcons, Steelers. It felt like they were in every game up until this recent stretch.
Yeah.
Obviously not Chargers. Not
Correct.
in the Chargers game.
And definitely not this one. They couldn't get started. The offense never got started. It kept sputtering. But here's another thing, right? So the Bears, Patriots, Broncos, right, all have drafted quarterbacks from J.J. McCarthy's draft. The biggest difference, and by the way, people, Patriots 11-2, Broncos 10-2, Bears 9-3. The biggest difference is they all got to suffer their rookie year. They all suffered their rookie year. Let's not mistake that, right? They suffered their rookie year. Bo Nix, remember we were saying Bo Nix was bad. We were saying Drake May isn't it, right? We were all saying when J.J. McCarthy plays, we're going to see who has the best quarterback in the draft, and all these coaches are going to be like, man, I wish I drafted J.J. McCarthy, right? Remember that? That was the talk of the offseason.
Yep.
They're killing it now. Ben Johnson's made Caleb a bridled horse. Like, he's wearing a saddle now. He's kind of doing what he's supposed to do within the scheme. He's not laying horizontal, throwing balls across his chest. Drake May is doing what he's supposed to do. Bo Nix. But they've had a whole season to feel the speed of the game and learn the speed of the game so that when it's time to play, they know the speed of the game. J.J. McCarthy doesn't know the speed of the game. Max Brosmer doesn't know the speed. The game is fast. Like, Max thought he literally could throw the ball sideways and he'd get away with it. No, these guys don't stop coming. Like, they don't stop. So you can't throw the ball if you can't see where you're throwing it. Like, I don't know what he thought he was going to do. And the strength, like, to have one guy holding your arm and you think you're going to get away. No, that dude's grip is super strong. And so looking at this team, right? Adam Thielen, gone. Justin Jefferson, frustrated. Jordan Addison, I forgot he was on the team. Like, he hasn't said a peep. Like, does he even get interviewed? Like, he said nothing. TJ Hawkinson finally starting to come alive. But the question you asked me, what's the main reason the trade didn't work out? Jalen Naylor. I think that's part of it. Jalen Naylor was better than everybody gave him credit for. Jalen Naylor has had some ball-out games. Jalen Naylor, if you kind of want to look at it this way, has had better flashier games. Better flashier games. I know it's not really, that doesn't sound right. Than Jordan Addison. Like, Jalen Naylor has been a little bit flashier than Jordan Addison. Like, Jordan Addison, now we know he came off suspension. But Jalen Naylor, 319 yards, Jordan Addison 48. You look at Jalen Naylor's 20 catches to Jordan Addison's 33. Games played 9-12. 3 touchdowns to Jalen Naylor's 2. Explosive 7-6 in favor of Addison. But when you think about the stuff we saw, the big plays, the big games, it felt like I felt like we used to have way more Jordan Addison splash games, and we haven't had that this year. I think Jalen Naylor is the reason why Adam Thielen's trade didn't work. That's it. That's the only answer. I mean, Adam Thielen did drop some balls early. The fans booed, and he's washed up, and all stuff came out fans' mouths. Maybe there's a lot of pressure. Maybe we didn't even know the mental pressure of him thinking this is his last season. Like that. I didn't think. I thought maybe he would try to go one more. But to say this is my last season, and he came home for that reason, and then felt the pressure of trying to go out on top, try to have because you don't want to say there's a farewell tour in the season's this bad.
Yeah.
I think now it's more of hey man, somebody do me a favor. This is it for me. Don't make me finish my season out like this. Because we've seen a lot of sad last seasons, when you think about guys in uniforms, you're like, why did this guy go do that? Like Jerry Rice, watching him go to some of those teams, you're like, why would you do that? Chris Carter, I think he did the Dolphins. When you see guys in those uniforms and they're just at the end of their career, it's just like, why'd you do that? Just go out on top. But it's a lot of money too. I get it. A couple $1 million just to go out there and run some routes and be sore in the morning. Hey, who wouldn't do that? I would do that right now, knowing I'm going to be hurting the next day, every day. Neck hurt, back hurt, arms hurt, fingers hurt, toes hurt, everything. Give me that $1.5 million, $2 million. Oh yeah, I will go out there and I will block, blindside block. I will pancake. You tell whatever you want me to do, coach. I'll do it. But I think that's the main reason it didn't work, Sam. Is there any other reason you think it didn't work?
Yeah, I think you're right that Jalen Naylor's presence was the biggest factor. But we also saw, I think, some depreciation from Adam Thielen because early on they were trying to get him on the field.
Yeah.
And the snap count just waned and got worse. And whenever he was targeted, he had a drop problem, wasn't creating separation. And I wonder if we just overestimated where he was at. I thought he was still looking good in Carolina last year. So I don't know if there was an actual drop-off or if we just didn't see him get an opportunity. But again, Ron, the bad quarterback play has kind of been bad for everybody. It's been bad for Jefferson, been bad for Addison, bad for Hawkinson. Mm-hmm. So when you're only getting a handful of snaps per game like Thielen was, like a dozen snaps, odds are you're probably not going to get a lot of balls thrown accurately your way. So I think that was just another tentacle of all this, that all of your receivers were not going to eat the way they wanted to.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of the beast. Adam Thielen's going to move on. We'll see when he clears waivers. If anybody picks him up, that's going to be the tough thing too. If nobody picks him up, then that's going to be really humbling, I'd say, mm-hmm. In a tough way to end the year. But my guess is somebody, even if it's a terrible team, will have to, because there's been some injuries. We know that. Maybe the Commanders. Who knows? You just never know what teams are going to do these days. But that would be a terrible one too, because they are terrible. There's no reason for them to do that. Panthers, like you said, they are in the hunt. So maybe they bring him back. Because was it Tet? He's doing some good things there. And I don't know. Maybe, and who knows? Maybe they see the film and they're like, oh, do we really want him back?
That's the thing. Who is gonna put him if it's a contender? You're not going to put him in your rotation unless someone gets hurt. I feel like he's not going to step in and really contribute to a team that's going places. So does he want to be on a bad team and contribute down the stretch? Maybe. I honestly can't see another team playing him over a young prospect, developmental type guy. I don't know where it fits. I'm not sure. Right. We'll see.
Maybe the Patriots just bring him in to put him with Diggs again or something. Maybe the Broncos to have a veteran in there. But Patriots, Broncos, Buffalo Bills maybe to help out, get a mature guy in there. I know Brandon Cooks just went there. So who knows? I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. 31 other teams. Does somebody take a chance on that, though? But we got the Daily 3 coming up. We're going to talk a lot of acts, and then the other stuff we'll got to be quick with. So a little bit longer on the first question, and then the other two we'll kind of breeze through. But we'll be back after a short pause. Now it's time for the Daily 3. That's 3 questions, about a minute each. Take it away, Sam.
All right, Ron, let's start with the Axe. The Gophers got it. 17-7 in the ice and snow. I know you were at the game. Good win, good way to end the year. Is there reason to believe bigger things are in store for this team next season?
One, snow pants were the best thing ever. I'm so glad I wore my snow pants. I wore my nice big winter Nike coat, had my snow pants on. I didn't feel it. It was great. Like, I was not complaining. My legs weren't freezing. My body wasn't cold. I actually was like, I had to go inside and take some stuff off at one point because I was sweating a little bit. But yes, I think there are more things to come. Drake Lindsey, again, this is his first year starting. Freshman, young, speed of the game. And in that last game in the snow, like the way they went no huddle quick, I hope that's a sign of more things to come. Also, we'll find out this week and next week, like as these recruits start to sign their letters of intent, as guys start to hit the transfer portal, all that kind of stuff. Like what receiver, because Nick Marsh from Michigan State, he's probably one of the number 1 receivers in the Big Ten. He's probably not coming to Minnesota, but you never know. My guess is he goes to Michigan, probably. He's from Detroit, so probably goes to Michigan instead of Michigan State, which would be the weirdest transfer ever. But maybe he does that. Maybe he goes and jumps on with Ohio State, one of these other bigger schools that have a chance, because he is the number 1 receiver in the Big Ten, and that's what the portal allows you to do now in NIL. But yes, I think there's bigger things in store. One, Corey Parrish is coming back. Hopefully, most of the defense is coming back. Those guys, Carter Mins, Karamo, Emmanuel Karamo from Cooper High School. You got Jackson Howard. So you got all these guys coming back on that defensive line. You do lose Anthony Smith. You are going to lose a couple pieces there on the defensive line, but I think the young backups we saw come in and absolutely wreak terror on offenses. There are, but the quarterback is the biggest reason. Like, you watch him in that quick pass offense this week in the snow. It looked pretty good, like outs, hitches, slants, and it was cold, so it was tough to hold the ball. Guys were trying to like squeeze the ball. They couldn't really catch it and turn up and run. They were more so just trying to secure it. I picked up one of the balls and tried to throw it back. It was impossible, Sam. I don't know how those guys did it. I know they had a bunch of balls. I saw the ball boys were running around, chasing. I mean, it was hilarious, though. It was like a Benny Hill cartoon type of situation or show. Like, ball boys are all chasing each other. They're all holding different balls. They got different towels. They're trying to put them by the heaters and then dry them off. I mean, it was like a clown show of like making sure the footballs are warm and dry, because it was every catch. Like, if it ended up in the ground, you got to get another ball because that thing is slick. Yeah, but I'm telling you, they got one over to us. I picked it up. Sam, it was so hard to throw back. But yeah, I do think there are bigger things in store. I don't know. What do you see?
Well, I'm looking at the schedule for next year. They've already got the opponents out. So home games against Iowa, that's tough. Michigan, that's tough. Yep. Northwestern and UCLA can win those. Away games next year, Indiana, ouch. Penn State, don't know who do we know their coach? That's going to be, that'll be interesting. Remake the team maybe. Purdue, winnable. Washington, probably winnable. Wisconsin, winnable. So, same as usual. There's going to be 3 or 4 tests in the season next year. Can you get some impact in the portal? I don't think they got a lot out of the portal this year. Can you get a little more next year that can get you to another level? That's what I'm going to be watching for. Let's keep it on college football. Indiana, Ohio State, awesome Big Ten title tilt. Who you got?
I don't know. I say Ohio State, but I keep forgetting Indiana's good, man. Their quarterback is good. They got a really good receiver. Their defense plays hard. Signetti is an absolute like dog when you talk about coaches that are like have like so much bravado and confidence in this team and what they can do. Ohio State showed a little bit of vulnerability at some games this season. Like there were a couple teams like Washington stuck around early with them, Oregon. So there's opportunity there where Ohio State has been vulnerable. But I still think Ohio State, like they just look like a better team. Like when Jeremiah Smith, and it's indoors in Indy, so you're not going to have to worry about weather. Receivers are going to be flying. that's where I think Ohio State takes over as their weapons. But Julian's saying, man, you can say Heisman candidate, all this. He doesn't look great to me. I don't know if it's just me. He doesn't look great. Like, he doesn't look like a world beater. Fernando Mendoza does. And I think that's where the edge is. But I got to give a little bit of an edge to Ohio State. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I would give the edge to Ohio State as well. FanDuel's got them by 4.5. But number 1 versus number 2, what a battle. Both are going to the playoffs, so this is kind of gravy. Almost like you want to get out of this healthy, more importantly, so you can, make a national championship run. Last one, Ron, back on the Vikings. Justin Jefferson chose not to speak to reporters after Sunday's loss. Big deal or not a big deal?
Not a big deal. Here's the thing. I talked to Ahmad Hicks from Fox, and he said he did the same thing to him a couple weeks ago, but it was very cordial. He went up and said, "Hey, can we get an interview?" Justin Jefferson declined, and then Justin Jefferson asked him, "How's he doing though?" Like, it wasn't like he wasn't talking. He's just like, I don't really have anything to say. Like, I've said everything I could say. Like, I've said it week after week after week. I'm frustrated. We got to find a spark. I'm frustrated. We got to find a spark. Do you want me to just get up here and say that again? I'm frustrated. We got to find a spark. So, him walking out the locker room is not so much of like I keep trying to say, he's human, right? He's gonna have emotions. Instead of getting right in the moment and having a viral video of you saying something like, "I'm so sick and tired of this," and da 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 da, and that those videos don't die, right? They live in infamy of your career. It could ruin your team. It could ruin the confidence of your young quarterback. And I think that's where Justin Jefferson's trying to be careful with, because he's like, look, this is both of these quarterbacks, young rookie quarterbacks. I don't really, have much to say. Like, what I'm thinking right now. So I think that's more of it. I just think people want to create. They're doing their job though. You create a story, have a story, great. But I just think it's much ado about nothing. Like, we know what he's going to say. We didn't do anything. Like, balls weren't thrown when they were supposed to be thrown. Like, I got to be better. Like, defense made plays. Boom. There you go. I saw somebody tweet, say, just get up there and say I'm here so I don't just get fined. Like, why? So to go viral, to do the Marshawn Lynch? Like, come on. Like, he declined. He didn't ignore people. He just declined and said, no, I don't want to talk right now. He'll talk this week, my guess, because he'll have to get on the podium at some week if the team makes him available to the media, and then he'll give a statement. Like, other than that, after a 26-0 loss, what is there to say? It's not much to say. But I want to thank everybody for joining us today on the Ron Johnson Show. Sun looks like it's coming out in Minnesota, so it's not gonna do anything for the snow. It's not gonna melt it, but the sun is out, so it's gonna warm it up a little bit to your face. So enjoy that weather. Enjoy the week. Commanders are coming to town. Vikings versus Commanders in Minneapolis. There's no Gopher football until the bowl game. Hopefully it's the Las Vegas Bowl. I'm really hoping for that one. But make sure you guys subscribe to Locked On Sports Minnesota on YouTube to get all of our shows, all of our content, and all of our postcasts, because that's where you get the raw energy and emotion after every Vikings win or loss. I want to thank you guys, and have a great week.